Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Mannadium deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is one of the most powerful decks to play this format because it makes absolutely incredible boards and summons out some really awesome boss monsters. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Visa Samsara. I feel like you only need 2 copies of this card in the deck. You don't need any more because we're also playing Visa Starfrost, but this card is great because it has the ability this card's name becomes Visa Starfrost while on the field or in the graveyard. It's also very easy to summon to your side of the field because you can actually target any number of Visa monsters that are banished in your graveyard or on your field and shuffle those Visa monsters into the deck. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand. And if you do that, it gains 400 attack for each monster you shuffled with this effect with different names, original names, which is such a cool ability to be able to get this card out on your side of the field. I love this card in the deck and it's just a really good 2-of. We then play 3 copies of Ruimheart. Ruimheart is definitely a 3-of in the deck because it has an insane ability that during the main phase, if this card's in your hand, quick effect, you can target a Mannadium monster you control or a monster that you control with 1500 attack and 2100 defense and destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Mannadium card from your deck to your hand, which is an insane ability to be able to search out any Mannadium card that you need off this card's ability. We then play 3 copies of Rykard. Rykard is definitely a 3-of in the deck. This card is absolutely insane because you can special summon this card to your hand, from your hand to a monster zone that one of your Scareclaw monsters is adjacent to, which is just so cool. I love that ability about this card. It's just such an awesome card to be able to just summon to your side of the field. And also, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Scareclaw spell or trap from your deck to your hand, being able to search out your copy of Arrival off this card's ability, which is insane. We then play 3 copies of Meek. Meek is definitely a 3-of and the only ball you're going to need in this deck anymore because it's so consistent. This card is amazing because if you control a copy of Visa Starfrost or a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, you can special summon this card from your hand. Meaning if you control any of these monsters, you can just immediately special summon this card to your side of the field, which is just really, really cool. And if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, then you can special summon another copy of Meek from your deck and then increase this level by 2, making it a level 4 tuner on your side of the field, so you can go in for synchro plays. We then play 2 copies of Visa Starfrost. I feel like all you need is really 2 copies of this card in the deck because it's an amazing combo piece in the build, which you're also playing 2 copies of Samsara in the build now, so I feel like 2 is really all you need. We then play 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. Fenrir is just so good in just about any deck, especially this one, because this card is amazing because if you control no monsters, you can just special summon it to your side of the field. You can search out another copy of a Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand, which is amazing every turn, which is just incredible, and it also spot removes cards off the field, which is just really, really good. We then play a single copy of the Scareclaw Kashtira. This card is an amazing extender in the deck, and it's very easy to summon, especially since we're playing Rykard in the deck, and this card can also attack while in defense solution, which is just incredible. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is definitely a 3-of in the build, basically just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're going to start with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is great because we play a lot of different field spells in the deck to be able to search out with this card, so you really want to play the one of Terraforming so you can get to your copies of your field spells. We then play a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is really good to be able to search out the exact card you need from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is great as a 1-of in the build, just to stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Imaginings. Imaginings is great as a 1-of in the build, which you really only need a single copy of this card. It lets you reveal a Mannadium monster or Visa Starfrost in your hand to draw 2 cards and then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, which is a pretty cool ability, but I feel like you only need a single copy of this card in the build. We then play 2 copies of Obsessions. Obsessions is amazing as a 2-of in the build, but you really only need 2 copies of this card in the deck because it has a really cool ability to be able to target a monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, add a copy of Calarium from your deck to your hand, which is such a cool ability. Or if you already control Peaceful Planet Calarium, hand, then you can add a Mannadium monster or Mannadium spell or trap instead, which is really cool to be able to add those Mannadium spells or traps off this card's ability. It's such a powerful card, and it's just really, really good. It also says that you can banish this card from your graveyard to be able to special summon a Visa Starfrost or one monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense from your hand, which is such a cool effect. We then play 2 copies of Scareclaw Arrival. Scareclaw Arrival is definitely a 2-0 because this card is basically Monster Reborn for your Scareclaw monsters or Visa Starfrost, which is just absolutely incredible. Plus it's searchable off of Rykart, which is why we play this card as a 2-0 in the build. We then play 3 copies of Peaceful Planet Calarium. Calarium is definitely a 3-0 in the build, and this card is absolutely insane. And as the ability, when this card is activated, you can add a Mannadium monster or a Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand, which is just super cool that this card is a Rhoda for the deck. It also has the ability that light monsters that you control gain 100 attack for each tuner that you control and in your graveyard. And if a face-up tuner that you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, then you can target one of those monsters and special summon it. And you can only use this effect of this card once per turn, and you can only activate 1 copy of Calarium per turn, which is just really, really good about this card to be able to grab any of the Mannadium monsters that you need off this card's ability, or even Visa Starfrost. We then play 2 copies of Reichphobia. Reichphobia is really good as a 2-of in the deck to be able to search out your copy of your Scareclaw monsters or Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Pressured Planet. Pressured Planet is really good to be able to search out your copy of your Kashtira monsters from your deck to your hand, especially cards like Fenrir. This is like a 4th copy of Fenrir, which is just absolutely incredible. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is just absolutely nuts right now, and this card is definitely a 3-of in the build just to be able to negate monster effects on your opponent's side of the field. Plus we usually have resources that we can spin, like our copies of our planets, which is just really easy to be able to get off our side of the field, and this card is amazing in the deck overall. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start off with a single copy of Reframing. Reframing is an awesome counter trap for the deck that basically just stops spells and traps or monster effects activated while you control a synchro monster, which is just such a cool ability about this card. It's just a really good 1-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is definitely a 3-of in this deck to stop your opponent's monster effects and also lock down entire columns of spells and traps. So that's it for the traps, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Vicious Astrolabe. This card is a definite 2-of in the deck and is super easy to summon to your side of the field because you don't even have to use polymerization. It just requires a copy of Visa Starfrost plus a monster with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, essentially one of our heart monsters, to be able to make this card. Also, it's incredible because it cannot be destroyed by battle, and if this card is special summoned, you get to target one other monster on the field and destroy it, and if you do, this card gains attack equal to half of that monster's original attack or defense, whichever is higher. We then play a single copy of the Crimson Dragon. The Crimson Dragon is great in this deck as a 1-of because it helps us summon out our copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is amazing in this deck as a 1-of because this card is just incredible to be able to summon to your side of the field off your copy of Crimson Dragon because this card is a walking negate. We then play a single copy of Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is really good as a 1-of in the build because this card is just incredible to be able to target with your copy of Crimson Dragon and be able to summon out your copy of your Dispatter, which is just incredible to be able to summon this card and Crimson Dragon and then use Crimson Dragon's effect to summon out your copy of Dispatter, which is just really, really good. We then play a single copy of the Visa Synchro Monster. This card is really good in the deck as a 1-of, as this card's name becomes Visa Starfrost while on the field, and you can only use the following effects card once per turn, and if this card is Synchro summoned, you can add one spell or trap that mentions Visa Starfrost from your deck to your hand. Also, during your main phase, you can destroy one monster that you control, and all Synchro monsters you control will gain 800 attack this turn, which is a great ability just to boost up your attack points. We then play a single copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck because it just helps you climb into other really powerful cards. We then play a single copy of the other Mannadium Synchro Monster. This card is really good as a combo piece in the deck. It's just incredible because this card is also a tuner monster, which is going to help you climb into a bunch of different plays. As the ability, if this card is Synchro summoned, then you can target a level 2 tuner monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but negate its effects, which is just a really cool ability to be able to do with this card. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code is a really good 1-of in the deck to be able to pop multiple cards on the field, and this card helps out a lot in the deck. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is really good because it's super easy to summon to your side of the field and establish multiple negates on the field. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn is great to be able to spin cards off the field. We then play a single copy of SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight is great in the deck as a one-of because it's just a double interruption. It's just a really good card overall in this build. We then play a single copy of Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep is really good to be able to play in the deck because you do play the copy of Vicious Astrolabe, which will make your copy of Cross Sheep go off so that you can summon out a level 4 lower monster from your graveyard, which is just really good to be able to get on your side of the field. We then finally played 2 copies of Scareclaw Lightheart. Lightheart is really good as a 2-of in the deck because if this card is link summoned, you get to add a copy of Reichphobia from your deck to your hand, and it just requires a Scareclaw monster or Visa Starfrost to be able to make this card, which is super easy to do in this deck. And I love that about this card. It's super helpful in this build. It also has a once per duel effect that if you control a copy of Visa Starfrost, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but that is a once per duel effect. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Mannadium deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's just super fun to be able to play, and it's one of the most powerful decks to be able to play this format. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.